Infiltrating, Episode 13. Subscription is free. Subscribe to our channel to get the complete series. The rain hit the cracked earth of Wonditan like shards of glass, but the storm wasn't the biggest threat. The real nightmare came from the hill of Saldum. Through the fog, the house at the top was barely visible, but every groan and shriek from its direction told the same truth. It was swarming with zombies. "We're out of time," Carlos said, gripping his magic wand tightly. Eric clenched his fists, the moly ring glinting on his finger. "And if we don't survive getting there, none of this matters." Juan checked the rusted machete in his hand. His voice shook. "Do we even have a plan?" Carlos looked at the others, Camilla, who was pale but determined, and Rose, the sorceress, who stood as if she feared nothing. "We move in formation," Carlos said, "but we need a distraction." Rose raised an eyebrow. "You want me to bait the horde?" "Yes," Carlos replied sharply. "Rose, you and Camilla will stay back and pull the zombies away. Eric, Juan, and I will breach the house while you keep them busy." Camilla's face tightened. "And if you don't make it out?" Carlos didn't answer. He just turned toward the hill. They crept closer, the smell of rot and burning air growing thicker. The house loomed over them like a tomb. Carlos held up his hand. "This is it, Rose, Camilla, now." Rose inhaled deeply, then blew a piercing whistle that echoed across the hillside. A wave of shrieks rose in response. Her fingers flared with blue fire as she hurled a flaming arc toward the house. The front windows exploded in an inferno, sending dozens of zombies lurching toward her position. "Now!" Carlos hissed. Eric, Juan, and Carlos bolted for the side of the house, sliding into a patch of shadows beneath broken stone. Back with Rose and Camilla, the air was chaos. Zombies swarmed from every direction, their charred skin steaming from the fire. Rose summoned a storm of sparks to keep them at bay. Camilla trembled beside her, clutching a short blade. "You'll be fine," Rose muttered, though her own eyes were sharp and uneasy. Inside the shadows, Carlos, Eric, and Juan slipped to a cracked side door. Carlos whispered, "On my mark." Eric twisted the moly ring, and in an instant his form stretched and swelled, his voice deepening into a monstrous growl as he became a giant. Juan's breath caught. "Every time you do that, I forget how terrifying it is." "Focus," Eric rumbled, kicking the door off its hinges. The stench inside was overwhelming face. They charged in. Zombies swarmed the hall, snarling, clawing, teeth snapping inches from their faces. Carlos spun his magic wand in a glowing arc, sending blasts of pure force that crushed two zombies into the wall. Eric roared, sweeping 5 more aside with his massive arm. Juan hacked desperately at the ones that slipped through. Then the air grew colder. From the shadows of the staircase emerged a different zombie, towering, armored in bone and sinew, its eyes glowing faint green. It charged. Eric tried to block, but the creature's strength smashed him into the wall. Juan swung his machete, but it snapped in two. Carlos raised the wand, but the blow from the monster sent him crashing to the floor. The room shook. The zombie raised its claw for the killing strike, and Carlos, bleeding and desperate, screamed. Energy blasted from the wand in a wild surge, striking the monster square in the chest. The creature shrieked, thrown through the stairs in a rain of splinters. "Move!" Carlos shouted. They stumbled deeper inside and found the trapdoor. Eric tore it open, and the 3 of them dropped into the tunnel below. Above, the sound of zombies multiplied. Outside, Rose turned to Camilla. "I have to go in." "What? No!" Camilla grabbed her arm. You can't leave me here alone. Rose's voice hardened. I can buy them time. You, run. Tears filled Camilla's eyes. Please, don't. Rose pulled away. Go, Camilla, now. Before Camilla could answer, Rose dashed toward the house, fire spiraling around her hands. Camilla hesitated, then bolted into the dark woods, zombies shrieking as they chased her. Inside, Rose stormed into the burning front hall. The flames had driven the zombies mad, but she cut a path with her magic, hurling fire and shoving creatures aside. She reached the stairs just as Carlos, Eric, and Juan emerged from the tunnel, Juan limping badly, Eric still in giant form, clutching a small parcel. Rose! Carlos shouted in relief, until he realized Camilla wasn't there. Where is my sister? Carlos demanded, panic flashing in his voice. She's gone, Rose said, blocking a zombie strike with her staff. Gone where? Carlos yelled. I don't know. Carlos's face twisted in horror. Without another word, he ran from the group, shouting Camilla's name into the storm. Eric, Juan, and Rose pressed on, dragging themselves through the burning hall until they reached the far stairwell leading underground, the prison of Sir Frank. They descended into the cold, damp chamber. Chains rattled in the dark. Sir Frank was there, a massive zombie locked in underground, his glowing eyes following them. His breath came in guttural snarls. Juan, panting, said, We have the drug. Let's end this. Eric grew larger again, his huge hands forcing Frank's jaws open. Juan opened the parcel and froze. The vial was gone. What? Rose hissed. Where's the drug? It was here, Juan said, his voice cracking. I swear I had it. Eric's giant form trembled. Someone took it. His gaze shifted between them. They stood in silence, the sound of Sir Frank's chains filling the air. Rose's eyes narrowed. If one of you stole it, enough, Juan snapped. Whoever took it just doomed us all. They locked Sir Frank back in the underground, his guttural laughter echoing as they backed away. Confusion and suspicion hung heavy in the air as they left the underground chamber. No cure, no certainty, and the knowledge that someone among them had betrayed the mission. Outside, the wind howled over Wonditan. Somewhere in the storm, Carlos was still searching for Camilla, and the Hill of Saldom remained a nest of the undead. Please don't forget to share. Watch more fiction and nonfiction horror stories on our channel. Also, you can submit your horror fiction and nonfiction to earn from them.